Vinicius not at his best, but still very important for Real Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti. Ancelotti said that he'll have to evaluate the fitness of Vinicius and his Brazil teammates Rodrygo and Endrick after a long trip back from international duty in order to minimize the risks of injury. Ancelotti said that he'll have to evaluate the fitness of Vinicius and his Brazil teammates Rodrygo and Endrick after a long trip back from international duty in order to minimize the risks of injury. He's not at his best, but he's still very important for us. We're in no hurry because the team has managed to score, and he's been important. And the last concern for me is Vinicius' condition, but we have to take good care of him, Ancelotti said ahead of their La Liga clash at Real Sociedad on Saturday. He always works well, and it's a matter of just time for him to reach his best level. I can't fool myself thinking that I'll have all players at 100% at all times. I don't want to go into his problems in Brazil, but what I see is a more general issue because they are not managing to bring out their best version as a group. Here we are delighted with Vinicius, because although he is not at his best right now, no one can forget that with Vini, we have been able to win 2 Champions League titles. We have to be very fond of him at Madrid. Ancelotti said that he'll have to evaluate the fitness of Vinicius and his Brazil teammates Rodrygo and Endrick after a long trip back from international duty in order to minimize the risks of injury as his side gear up for a busy schedule with 7 games in the next 3 weeks. Ancelotti will face a selection headache ahead of Saturday's clash at Sociedad with defender David Alaba and midfielders Jude Bellingham, Eduardo Camavinga, Dani Ceballos and Aurelien Tchouaméni still recovering from injuries. With the way the calendar is built, we will have injuries. It is just the way it is, so rotating is a good thing, Ancelotti told a press conference on Friday. We are used to playing that many games but need to be vigilant monitoring the players' fatigue, so they can rest when they need. The players who have just come back from the international break, like Vinicius Jr., Rodrygo, and Endrick, who had long travels with Brazil, are under observation because they haven't had time to rest or train. We have to try to avoid injuries. Last year we had a lot of injuries, but we managed to cope very well. With this schedule, it's normal to have injuries, and we have to face it. Barcelona tops the La Liga standings with 12 points, for ahead of Real Madrid, Atletico and Villarreal, and 5 above 5th place Girona.